Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name is Tom Novak, and today we're going to do a Mandevilla. We're going to, bonsai it. Why not? It was half price. Look at that. It was from $4.98, so like $2.50. It's a pretty decent plant with a pretty decent trunk on it. I know it's a vine, but why not? Let's give it a try and grow it. It thrives best in part shade, likes a free draining soil. So today we're going to use 1 part worm casting, 1 part peat moss, 3 parts sand, 3/4 tablespoon of mikus, and 3/4 tablespoons of azus. The pot is ceramic since we're going to keep this indoors for the winter time. So here's the pot I'm going to use. It's an old pot, but we'll have to pick a good front for it. And since this got a little bit of a, that's just dirt, I think, well, either way it looks pretty good, but this side looks like the decent side. And then I got a piece of screen in there. And if you notice, this has deep ridges here. So what are we going to do to compensate for that? I'm going to take my fluorite and put that in the bottom for drainage, because this way here it'll keep water from settling in there. It'll help it to wick out, hopefully. So we'll give a nice little drainage base, plus it'll keep the pot weighted down a little bit when we put all this in there. Well, the sand will do it too, but in case we get a wind, I don't want this ceramic pot breaking. There we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my shears and let me put my pot on the side, and we're just going to cut it back. It's about here. Taking that off, taking this dead piece off, because right now I need to get it so it's let's see where I can put it. I'll put it over there so we can have a small little bonsai in the pot and get to see how let the roots grow. But let's pull it out of this container and let's see what we got here. We got a nice healthy root system. So let's start taking the soil off the top. Now it looks like they have it in a plug, I don't know. But let's take this off. I gave it a good soaking before I repotted it, because the plant was in such a dry state when I got it. So I figured with a good deep soaking, I let it sit in there, you can see all the bubbles come out. Okay, let's throw that into our bucket. Now we're going to take the rest of this and put it into our little bucket of water and loosen the soil into the water with our fingers to manipulate all the soil off the root base. And there we go. You got a nice healthy root system, but you can see the plug is still attached. And it's got the screen on there. So it's supposed to dissolve, but sometimes these meshes don't dissolve right. So I don't want to take too much of that off, because I don't know if it's going to damage the plant or not. But right now I'm going to take some of the root off. It's a little long, because we want to develop a nice rated root base, but it's a cutting. You can see it's a cutting, and it's in those little peat plugs with the nylon mesh. Now some of that you can get off. but I don't want to rip off the roots, so hopefully this stuff will decay. Let's pull some of it off the best we can. Get rid of it. So that way there we got our plug and everything free and safe. Now you can see how the plant is. It's got a nice solid trunk. They cut it off about here when they did it, or it was broken off. I don't know if you can see it. So all I'm going to do is take my heavier pruners, I call them toenail clippers, and just snip that piece off. And now let's get our pot. We got our front right there. And here's the soil the way it looks. I put this on the side. And there's how our soil looks with the sand in there. So this should be a pretty good base for us. Hopefully I have enough in here. Oh yeah, it should be good. Just to get it all the way around. Now we're gonna put, since it's growing to the side more, we're gonna let them develop those branches so we can thicken up our trunk, because if you let this grow, it'll grow about 10 feet tall. But we're not gonna trellis it because we want it to be, train it to be into a tree more or less. Well, we want it to be a tree into our bonsai form. So let's put that like that, see how it looks. But before we do anything else, I'm going to take some water and water in the soil to see how far it goes down. There we go. Push it in. Now we got a good base for the roots, because they'll be in touch with the wet soil. So let's take some more and put a mound there. Okay, so since we're a little bit going to our right, or to the left for the plant, let's put it just a little bit offset, and let's pull our roots out the best we can, because I don't want to break too much off, because with that little plug, I don't know if it's gonna hold up pretty good. I don't want to damage any more roots, but what I'll do is, let me get my little container. There we go. There we go. Let's just put our soil mix in. Now with your Micus and Azus beneficial bacteria, it tells you how much to put in per gallon container. So it's like a tablespoon per 1 to 3 gallon container. But you can look in on the package, it'll tell you exactly how to do it. And this way here, our beneficial bacteria will help the root system on this plant to get more established into its new environment. Okay, we got that in there pretty good. We want to make sure that we get all the air pockets out of the roots. So let's give it a little bit of a watering. That way there it washes everything in. We can take our soil and put some more in. And remember, don't forget to get your turntable. That's the most handiest thing you can have on hand when you're working on your bonsai trees, because it helps you get the soil in to exactly where you want it. There we go. Take our spoon. Get it packed into all where we need it. Now I'm going to put this in by the garage. I got a bench, and I'm going to put it on the second shelf where it gets half shade from the afternoon sun. And it was growing there should grow there pretty good. Okay, let's wipe this part off. Now we're going to throw a little bit more soil in there towards the back. Now this is going to be a nice little pot for it because it'll give these roots a chance to grow. It'll give the plant a chance to grow. And the beneficial bacteria will work hand in hand with the plant to be able to get all the nutrients we can for the plant out of the soil. There we go. I mean, you can see people that have, I've seen people with a honeysuckle vine, and it was something. When I was in landscaping at Daly College, our professor took us and showed us a honeysuckle tree that was beautiful. I mean, the trunk was about that thick, and it was a nice broom style honeysuckle, and you should see the flowers on it. So we can do the same with the Mandevilla. Just let it grow. So thicken up the trunk, then prune it back so we get our branches nice and strong. And there we have it. A nice little tree made out of a pot that they had in the junk section for half off. So for $2.50, why not? We gave it a shot. There we go. Now I can decorate it with a piece of stone. But I think something dark would be nice if I have any dark stones. But just for now, so we can keep whatever night terror is still lurking out there out of our plant. So we'll just put a couple of rocks here and there for now. We're not going to stick them in. We're just going to do that just to keep whatever's in digging out. There we go. There's our Mandevilla. Nice little tree set in the back. We can always put something in the front. Later on, you can put a statue, anything you want. You got little bridges you can put just to dress it up. It's up to you, but right now we want it to start growing, then we can worry about decorating it later. So let's get our tissue, wipe it off a little bit more. And we're not going to cut any more off the top. And what I'm going to do is just dab that cut. I want to see, here's another piece that's broken off right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. So what I'm going to do is clip that too. See, that's probably another reason why they were getting rid of it for half off. Let's take our... But we'll do our best we can to get it to grow good. Once these cuts dry, I'm going to leave it in the house right now because it's raining out. And then in the morning I'll put it out. And then once it's dry enough, I can put the lipstick on later. But if the cut is small, usually rule of thumb is if it's if it's a little bit smaller than a pencil or a skewer, you don't have to put it on. The lipstick, or you can use Tite-Bond wood glue, whatever you want to use. But there we have it, and then we got our little sign that we made with the date on the back, and we're going to place it right behind the plant so you don't see it, but yet you know it's there. See? You can hardly see that it's there. So, what's today? Today is Sunday night, and what's on Sunday night? It's Lawrence Welk, so it's family night. So, put on some old Lawrence Welk shows from the 50s and 60s, put up make yourself a nice pot of tea, sit down with the family, let the kids sit down with you on the couch, put the TV on, gather together, let the kids listen to some good old-fashioned music when music was music, and let them relax with you and have a cup of tea, give the kids a little water or something to drink while they watch the TV with you and the Lawrence Welk show, and just sit back and relax. And if the kids are in bed, when he's playing the music, dance with your wife or your loved one. So you take care, everybody, and thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. And scout out the stores now, because they're getting rid of stuff half price. So look in the junk section. This was at Lowe's. So you take care, everybody, and have a nice night. Thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors.